The economy's so bad, we're down to 1 core. Okay, it's 5 cores actually. 1 performance core and 4 low power efficiency cores. This is the Chuwi UniBook. It's 14-inch, 1920 by 1200 laptop, and it costs $600. It has 8 gigs of memory and 256 gigs of storage. Listen, it's dark out there, and we may die. That's a Lewis Black quote. He's sort of fun because I feel that level of anger sometimes. Let's take a look at this laptop, because why not? Okay, so this is an Intel Wildcat Lake laptop. And the first time that I laid hands on Wildcat Lake was at Computex at an Intel event. And so I reached out to Chuwi and I asked them, I reached out to a couple people actually, and Chuwi was the first one to send me a Wildcat Lake laptop. Why do I want a Wildcat Lake laptop? Well, 1, it's Panther Lake's smaller, lower power cousin. 2, it really is sort of a dark timeline right now. Wow, that's actually... It feels a lot like the 6th or 7th generation Asus ZenBook. Like, it actually feels pretty quality. So anyway, this is the Chuwi 8 gigs of memory, 256 gigs of flash storage. We're going to put Linux on it, as we do. The particular Wildcat Lake CPU this is based around is the Core 3-304. There's a couple different options. Full disclosure, Chuwi has also gotten in trouble in the past for mislabeling their CPUs. Look for that. I would just like to point out that this laptop has a 1920 by 1200 display. Those of you that have been following the channel for a long time know that I basically had an aneurysm for crappy laptops, like the crappy business class laptops. For a while there, the popular business class affordable laptop screen was 1366 by 768, which is the worst resolution if you are trying to consume media from the internet. 768 pixels vertically, like you'd have enough room for like 5 pixels after the height of the start menu. I mean, and then there were Windows Vista updates, and then Windows XP, and the start menu just kept getting taller. Not good. So, on this side, we have a full-size RJ45 jack. Yes, built-in networking, RJ45. It's a collapsible kind of a deal. It's not, I mean, it feels like a thin and light from 5 years ago. We got a 5 gigabit Type A port, a USB 2.0 port. We got a Kensington lock port, a micro SD slot, and a combination headphone microphone jack. On this side, we have full-size HDMI, USB Type-C, another 5 gigabit Type A, and a second USB Type-C. Let's plug the USB-C in the wrong USB-C port and see if it charges. It does! See the orange up there? They really wanted to charge there, though. Alright. Let's turn it on. It's a nice responsive power button. It's not built into the keyboard. Our num-lock, caps lock, scroll lock lights are at the top edge there. Chuwi! It's got a built-in webcam with a mechanical shutter. Just a moment. I've failed to boot from Linux, or boot from USB. Alright. Where does this laptop land? What do we have? What is the final verdict? Okay, our 54 watt hour battery lasts about 5 to 8 hours. 9 hours if you turn the screen brightness down. Although I found myself running the screen brightness at 100% basically all the time. 300 nits. It's cheap. You know, you can get 6 of these Chuwi laptops for what the HP G1A costs. Or you can get about 4-ish the Framework Pro 13. The Pro 13, the display and the touchpad are the first things that you notice that are immediately dramatically better. I mean, everything, like, this very much feels like a $600 laptop that was supposed to be $450 at the start of 2026. And yet, this isn't a terrible option in a lot of scenarios. For a student laptop, for a work laptop, this is actually a really solid Linux experience. The fixes for the audio, even kernel 7, I backported the audio drivers to kernel 7. Those are on the forum. There's a DKMS driver that I uploaded to GitHub. And you can deploy that, and it even has proper labels. So you can get, you know, some nice audio support that even works with the headset, which is nice. And it works well. You know, I'm using it with KDE on Arch and Cache, and tested a couple other distros that have kernel 7. You're going to need kernel 7 for Wildcat Lake for the audio, the way that it's set up in this machine. But overall, not too bad. The cooling solution on this laptop is pretty solid. At the wall, it very rarely pulls more than 15 watts. The configuration of the CPU here is designed to top out at 15 watts and nominally be about 7. The hardware, Wildcat Lake hardware, actually makes me pretty excited because I think it's going to slot in cost-wise similar to like the N150 and N300 systems, but the big difference there is that you get the one P core, so you can have one thread that is running insanely fast. There's a scheduler hint. I don't know who to talk to about it, but there is a scheduler hint on Linux that if you use the low power E-cores and you try to have all of the non-user processes run on low power E-cores while having the interactive processes use and share that P-core, that does lead to a measurably, noticeably, like it feels like a better experience on the laptop. In order to accomplish that, I basically looked at my running processes, you know, like Chromium browser and a couple other things open, and I looked at the ones that I had spawned manually or that belonged to my user, and then hand-picked a couple more and said, hey, let's try to schedule those on the P-cores if we can. Everything else, System D, all this other garbage, low-power E-cores. And it did make the system snappier and more responsive. So, at least, I mean, it might be placebo, but I don't think so. I think it was a pretty good strategy. And so I think that kind of hinting would be useful here. I'm less excited for like the home lab scenario, because the home lab is just going to be, everything's going to be running on your E-cores in the background. Like if Intel did an 8-core version of Wildcat Lake where you got maybe 4 E-cores and 4 LP E-cores and like 1 or 2 P-cores, that might be pretty cool for like the home lab thing. But as it is, you know, like as a crash cart laptop or a laptop where you need a physical wired connection, as a laptop for utility use or something like that, this is a pretty solid choice. I've definitely had to deal with family members that have bought a worse laptop for more money from a big box store. And so in that regard, this laptop's basically all aces. It is shockingly good for the price point that it is, considering what is currently being sold in big box stores and what you get from your purchase of $1,000, let's say, in a big box store. It would be nice if Chuwi had a 12 gigabyte version. 16 gigabyte version is too much to ask for in these tumultuous times. But the storage is at least upgradable. The memory is not, but the storage is. And that's basically the only thing that is actually upgradable. So, it's been a quick look at Chuwi's new UniBook. And updates and follow-ups and that sort of stuff are going to be on the Level 1 Text forum, so look for that there. If you have any questions or follow-up or whatever, you can charge from either USB-C port on this side. It's fine. The keyboard, you know, I've been using this for about 4 days, like answering emails and things like that. I can already see that the keys are starting to wear. So, not bad. That's pretty much it for this one. I'm Will, this is Level 1. If you have any questions or I miss anything, you know the drill. I'm signing out, and I'll see you in the forum.